A major conservative conference in the United States turned into a public showdown. At Turning Point's USA annual AmericaFest event, some of the most influential figures on the American right openly attacked each other on the stage. The clashes exposed division inside the Republican Party and within Donald Trump's MAGA movement. Turning Point USA is a conservative organization founded in 2012 to mobilize young right-wing activists, especially on college campuses. It now runs hundreds of chapters across the US and plays a major role in the conservative youth politics. Its annual AmericaFest conference has become one of the most important gatherings for the American right. This year's event in Phoenix was the first since the death of founder Charlie Kirk, with his widow Erica Kirk now leading the organization. The speaker list included some of the biggest names in the conservative politics and media. Among them were Ben Shapiro, Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly, Vice President J.D. Vance, Steve Bannon, Vivek Ramaswamy, and the organization CEO Erica Kirk. But what followed was not a coordinated message, but a series of confrontations. Ben Shapiro, a strong supporter of Israel, opened the conference with sharp criticism of fellow conservatives. He accused some figures of promoting conspiracy theories and giving platform to extremists. Shapiro singled out Tucker Carlson for hosting far-right figure Nick Fuentes, calling it morally wrong.
It is the job of politicians to build coalitions. It's the job of those of us who try to shape public opinion to hold politicians to account and to hold them accountable to our values. We must not let fear of audience deter us from telling the truth. We must not let fear of other hosts deter us from telling the truth.
He also attacked commentator Candace Owens for calling Israel's war on Gaza a genocide and accused her of spreading conspiracy theories.
So no, Tucker Carlson, it is not an excuse to go silent on Candace's targeting of TPUSA. Or to mirror her bullshit lines of questioning because you love Candace personally.
Shapiro criticized Megyn Kelly as well, saying that she failed to challenge false claims about Charlie Kirk's death.
The same holds true of Megyn Kelly, a person I consider a friend, characterizing Candace as a young mother and thus shying away from condemning her actions or fibbing about them. That is a non-starter. Meghan Markle is a young mother. Ilhan Omar is a young mother. That doesn't matter.
Tucker Carlson responded directly from the same stage. He mocked what he described as efforts to silence dissent within conservative circles and rejected calls to exclude controversial voices.
I just got here and I feel like I missed the first part of the program. I hope I didn't miss anything meaningful. But I just want to say, I don't think I did. No, I'm just kidding. I watched it. I laughed. That kind of bitter, sardonic laugh that emerges from you when like Upside Down World arrives. When your dog starts doing your taxes and you're like, wait, it's not supposed to work this way. To hear calls for like deplatforming and denouncing people at a Charlie Kirk event, I'm like, what? This is hilarious.
Carlson also spoke out against bigotry, including attacks on Muslims. He told the audience that targeting millions of Americans because of their religion is unacceptable and said violence against civilians, whether in the US or Gaza, cannot be justified.
You shouldn't immediately go to motive. By the way, shut up racist is the #1 reason I voted for Donald Trump. And because I'm just sick of it. I mean, first of all, if I was a racist, if I was a bigot, I would just say so. Okay, it's America. You're allowed to be whatever kind of person you want. I'm not. I'm sincerely opposed, have always been, and will always be.
US support for Israel became one of the most divisive issues at the conference. Steve Bannon accused pro-Israel conservatives of putting Israel's interests ahead of America's. He said Israel should act independently but should not drag the US into another long war.
But that's about Israel. It's not about greater Israel. And it's not about Israel first. Charlie Kirk had some foundational beliefs. Those foundational beliefs are, #1, he's a populist nationalist. America makes its own decisions for America. And as a populist, the American people are the people that make those decisions.
Carlson criticizes religious figures who he said defended the killing of civilians in Gaza. He told the crowd that morality does not change based on the borders or nationality.
There is always the possibility that we can recognize we have more in common than divides us and come back together. There are no permanent enemies. There is no such thing as blood guilt, and collective punishment in this country, in the Middle East, anywhere on the planet is totally immoral. And if you want to know what makes America exceptional, it's that idea. And it's our job to defend it.
These remarks reflect a growing split between traditional pro-Israel Republicans and a newer America First wing that wants to limit foreign entanglements. Vivek Ramaswamy took a strong stance against ethnic and religious bigotry. He said no one who promoted hatred should lead the conservative movement. He also rejected the idea that some Americans are more real than others based on heritage. According to Ramaswamy, being American is about shared values, not ancestry.
If you really believe in this idea, think about where it leads you. Leads you to believe that Donald Trump is less of an American than Joe Biden because Donald Trump's mother was an immigrant and his grandfather was an immigrant. That doesn't make any sense. Leads you to believe that somehow Bernie Sanders is more of an American than Senator Bernie Moreno from my home state, an America First patriot, because Bernie Moreno was a naturalized citizen from Colombia. It makes you think that Marco Rubio, our great Secretary of State, is somehow less of an American than Elizabeth Warren because she's a Native American, which we all know, right? Doesn't make any sense. It's loony. It's crazy talk. It makes you believe that somehow I am less of an American than the transgender criminal who assassinated Charlie Kirk. We refuse to accept that. The idea that a heritage American is more American than another American is un-American at its core. And I will fight to the very end for that because that's what it means to be an American. We believe in ideals. That is who we are.
President J.D. Vance avoided condemning specific figures and said the conservative movement should be open to anyone who loves America.
And when I say that I'm going to fight alongside of you, I mean all of you, each and every one. President Trump did not build the greatest coalition in politics by running his supporters through endless, self-defeating purity tests. He says, "Make America great again," because every American is invited.
At the same time, he emphasized ending diversity policies and said Americans should not feel the need to apologize for being white. This highlighted a deeper disagreement over what defines American identity. This was more than personal drama. It is a power struggle over who will lead the conservative movement after Donald Trump, where one camp still aligns with Trump-style MAGA politics. The other, known as America's First, is more nationalist, more populist, and increasingly dominant among younger conservatives. With US midterm elections approaching, these divisions could reshape Republican strategy, messaging, and leadership. For more such explainers, subscribe to DawnNews English.